I recently did a search on the internet through Google to really understand what are the top HR topics that are being researched or looked at by people in the industry. And it makes for fascinating reading. You know, some of the things talk about building teams, or 10 ways to show appreciation, or dealing with bad bosses. Issues like millennials, healthcare, wellness, those are the things that come up most. One of the favorite topics, of course, is whether or not performance review processes are good or bad, or should be implemented or de-implemented, or something like that. The favorite for me was the one that says, how to get an employer to fall in love with you. Well, I think as an HR person, that's probably a bit of a stretch, and I think that that's not going to happen easily. So it's more of a question of how to get an employer to fully respect you, your position, and the things that you do. The one thing that is completely missing for me in all these searches that I've done is the thing about how does HR really add value to the bottom line? What are the things that they do? What are the things that the HR people really have to sit down and say, well, how do they take the business from here to here and help it move forward? I think first of all, HR people and HR leaders need to take their teams from transactional processes into strategic processes. A lot of the times HR people are stuck in just transactional things, and they really don't have an opportunity to think about strategic HR. It's really almost like having a seat at the table today. And how do you take that seat and move that seat to go beyond the seat at the table? To really add value to the bottom line of the business, to implement techniques, processes, and structure to get the organization to help them to think a little bit differently, to help them to come up with new, innovative, and creative ideas and thinking. And that's really where HR can move from a seat at the table, out of transactional works, to go beyond that seat at the table, to have more strategic and I would say to you, have a far more fulfilling and challenging job than what you have today. I'm going to run a series of webinars on this subject, and I really would love you to join me on these webinars to take this discussion forward and to see if we can actually start having a discussion about how does HR take that seat at the table and move that seat to go beyond that, to add to the bottom line and move your team from transactional into strategic. It's almost like being a passenger on a plane and moving from that seat, the passenger seat, into the pilot seat. Take control of your HR function and move it forward. So I'd hope you join me. There's a link below for the webinar invite. It won't be long webinars, probably about a half an hour or so, and love you to join.